We've talked about different types of reveals with the tongue and groove siding, but we also want to consider that the boards come in different widths. That's going to give a different scale to your building. This one is much tighter. This is a wider board. You can also see that the reveal on this side is a little bit narrower and this one's a little bit wider. So there's a lot of different decisions to make. If it's a really small building, you might want to go with a smaller plank, smaller width, because that'll help it feel bigger. You don't want to overwhelm it with a really wide plank. Also, this material I'm holding up is Modern Mill produces this. It's called Acre, and it's made out of rice husk, which is pretty fun. We're using it on a big deck project right now. So it's got a bunch of different materials, and this would go into the category that I would call the wood look without the maintenance of wood. So this looks like wood. It has a texture that's really interesting. You can apply stain. You do need to finish this product once it's installed, but it's all made out of recycled content and rice husks. One thing though to keep in mind when you're looking at these new materials is you want to read all the details about what's in it, because there are going to be different materials that are slightly different, and there's also going to be instructions on installation that could vary. These are a couple other products. This is by Millboard. Really pretty aesthetics, I think. This is kind of a cement product that has a wrap on it, which becomes the surface and the texture. Also, you want to get pricing on some of these things. They're newer, and while they're interesting, they could be pricey per linear foot. So you want to think about that. But again, you can see the different board dimensions here versus how narrow this one is, and use that to help make a decision about the products you want to use. Also, to achieve the wood look without wood, there's a lot of interesting aluminum siding that's been printed with wood that's got some great colors, and this is going to be very, very low maintenance. You just put it in place and snap it together and it keeps going. Whereas a lot of these other products you may have to finish in the field, either with paint or with a stain. You can also use these products vertically. So often when you're putting a product in vertically, you need a secondary layer behind it. So when we think about our wall, we've got a 2x4, 2x6 wall framing, then you have sheathing, waterproofing, and then typically your traditional siding would go on. However, if you're going to install something vertically, you often need what they call a rain screen, which lets water get behind the siding. So here's an example of a product that comes with a clip. So the aluminum clip attaches to the building, and then the siding hangs off of that. Vertical siding is more difficult to waterproof because water is coming down, whereas the horizontal siding is much easier. So the horizontal is a classic look. You can dress it up, make it modern, make it traditional. Vertical tends to be more modern, but it can also have a couple more steps to it, so you want to consider the price of labor and the material, but it's a look that we definitely love.